Welcome to this training, everybody, from any part of the world where you are watching or you are connected from. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you are connected from, you are all welcome to this training. I trust and believe God that you are going to gain value, high value, for the time, the resources that you have invested to acquire this skill. Many of us here may have attended one design class or the other, and some of us are even professional designers, but we don't understand the principles of design or the principles behind an amazing design. And sometimes when you see a design, you will be like, wow, how can I do this? How did they do this? You are just imagining, right? This is because you just created a design, but you don't understand the principles that works behind the scene for the design. So in this class is an introductory class. This is purely introduction to design, and three major things we'll be covering in this class. Number one is to understand what design is. Number two is to understand the principle behind an amazing design, the things you must bear at the back of your mind when you are designing anything. And then number three, the tools and materials you will need to have a fantastic design. Now, these are the major three things we'll be covering in this introduction to design. Hope we are all together. Right. Now, for those of us who are just new to graphic design, I celebrate the grace that brought you here, because the first thing you have to learn about design are the principles of design. By principles, I mean what makes a good design, what makes a bad design, what is even design. I'm sure you are already asking yourself that kind of question. What is even this graphic design that we are talking about? So I'm happy you are here, and I know that whether you are a returning graphic designer or you are a newbie in design, this class is going to be of great help to you. So let's roll into the training proper. The first topic we'll be considering under this introduction to graphic design is what is design. What is design? So what is design? So I'm going to be giving you 3 to 4 or maybe probably 5 different concepts of what design is, and I want you to take key note of it, because you are going to be translating it into whatever you are going to be designing when you enter the practical section, right? So what is graphic design? What exactly is graphic design? Now, graphic design is an effectual visual communication of an idea or a thought. Graphic design is an effectual visual communication of an idea or a thought. What do I mean by this? Most people have a vague idea of what graphic design does. Creating a logo, creating a logo for a business, fixing a picture up in a photograph, making magazines, or producing an ad flyer. Yes, all these are truly graphic design, but they are only elements of a much bigger picture. They are only elements of a much bigger picture. There is more to design than just fixing picture, putting putting some element in the picture, putting color and stuff. There are more to design than just doing this. So one of the things you must know about graphic design is that graphic design is a effective visual communication. You are communicating, but you are using what the eyes can see to communicate a message to somebody or some people. So that is one meaning or explanation of graphic design. Number two is that graphic design is everything that you see around you. So look around you. from look at, I have this book here. From this book you can see the graphics to the pack of the things that you are eating. Look at this, I just took this now. You can see it's designed. So everything around you is all about graphic design. Merging creativity with strategy, communicating with Brown Sophie. You know, you see things, you are wow by how they, so everything around you is all about graphics design. That is number 2. Number 3 is that graphic design is all about communication. Good communication skills are essential part of design toolkits, right? So making pretty picture is nice, but the most important part of the graphic design process happen before you even put pen to paper. Designers must interpret client need, right? So graphic design is all about communication. Somebody meet you now and say, I want you to design so thing for me. The first thing you want is, what will the purpose of that design achieve? What will the person achieve with the purpose of the design? The moment you have the concept of what you want to achieve, then you can now begin the process of coming up with that concept into a visual communication material, right? So graphic design is all about communication. So graphic design is also about the basis of design, right? Graphic design is all about, we are going to be looking at the basis of design very shortly, but it's all about the basis of design. So if you are to describe to a little child of 5-7 years old that, oh, what is graphic design? Graphic design is simply put, it is using shapes, triangle, star, right angle, cycle, using shapes to bring out a beautiful material that communicate a thought or an idea. Using shapes of every kind to bring out a beautiful material. It could be flyer, it could be logo, it could be just bring out material that communicate an idea or a thought. So that is what graphic design is. Okay, so now let's go to the second topic under this introduction. The second topic that we are looking at under this introduction is the principles of design. Principles of design. By principles, I mean the basis of design, the things you must have at the back of your mind, some underlining facts that you must not forget at all when you are designing anything, no matter how that thing is true. You must bear those principles at the back of your mind. And in graphic, there are 5 basic principles of design. 5 basic principles of design. Okay, just like you can see on the screen, you can see all the 5 basic of design. So let's mention them together. The first one is alignment. The first one is alignment. The second one is what? Repetition. The third one is what? Contracts. The fourth one, as we can see, there is what? Hierarchy. And then the last but not the least is what? Symmetry or balance. So we are going to be picking it one after the other and explain, right? So let's go. So alignment is the first principles of graphic design, right? So what is alignment? Alignment is one of the most basic principles of graphic design and the most important. One of the most principal and one of the most important of graphic design. It allows our eyes to see order in every design. What alignment does in every design is that it helps you to know the beginning, the coming in of the communication of the thought and the exit, right? So alignment helps you to connect, right? Having a strong point of alignment within a design allow our eyes to have a free flow of thoughts, visual messages that has been crafted in every design. So when a design have a good alignment, you will be able to know what the designer is trying to communicate, whether the designer is there physically with you or is not there. You will just know what the message the designer is trying to pass across. All right. Now, look at this design. As you see this design, can you see how it aligns? Can you see how the flow of thought of the design is? Everything just put together to give one unique message. Food. Just simply telling you that this is all about food. You can see the name, see the food, see things that you need to do in order to get the food if you are what? Interested. That is alignment. Alignment helps you to know the flow of thought. Now we have different types of alignment. I think 3 or 4. We have right alignment. As you can see here, this is all the texts are aligned by the right hand side. Then we have left alignment. As you can see here, all the text messages are aligned left and the image is right. And then here we have center alignment. Everything is aligned by the center. Then sometimes we can also have justify, but in most cases there are no justify in design. It's either left, right or center. That is the most you can, but in document you can get justify. So that is the first. Then the second is repetition, right? That is the second. Now repetition strengthens a design by tying together all other separate parts and enabling it to have a close association, right? Think of repetition as consistency. By repeating an element of a design, you immediately create a familiarity or identity in that design. Now look at this design, this one that was aligned center. You can see it. The red, the color is red all through. Now imagine putting white color, green color and different color. You can see the images are all put in the same shape of circle. Now imagine putting one image in circle, the other one in triangle. The front were used almost with the same type of front, right? Front shape, front size, almost the same. The differences are not much. This is exactly what repetition does. Repetition is a major factor in unity of multiple page documents. When you repeat what you did up, down, it gives unity. Now think of repetition as families. In a family you have father, mother and children. Many times they look different, but there are enough similarities to show that they are all together as one. So that is what repetition does. Bear in mind that in every design you are allowed to use minimum of 1 front and maximum of 3. You cannot use this front. When we go to the practical aspect, I will show you. You cannot use this front here and come down and use the different front and go. So somebody will have one design and 10 front inside. No, design doesn't give room for that. You use minimum of 1 and maximum of 3 front. The same thing with color. You must know color blend. Which color blend with which color and how do you blend it to make it unique. So those are repetition. What you did up, do it down. What you did at the center, do it by the side. Don't just do something different or different and different. No, it's not allowed in design. So that is principle number 2. Principle number 3 is contracts. By contracts is the most effective way to create emphasis and impact in any design. The most effective way to create emphasis and impact in any design. Now look at this design. What will you consider to be the contracts in this design? It is the portion that was highlighted with a box and then you have an arrow also pointing at it. So you can use a shape to make that emphasis. You can use an arrow to make emphasis. You can use color. areas or places where you want people to specifically pay attention, you use contracts to do something in that area, just to make sure that people who you are communicating that message to actually take note of that particular area. So contract is for emphasis. Sorry Contrast is for emphasis. Contrast is created when two elements are totally opposite. For example, you have small and big size, you have classical and contemporary front, you have thin and tiny lines, you have warm and cold color, you have dark and light, you have smooth and rough texture, you have horizontal and vertical. When you are doing all these things, you use contrasts to place emphasis on them. So that is number 3 principle. Then number 4 principle is hierarchy. Hierarchy. So hierarchy creates organization. Hierarchy creates organization. Think about it. Hierarchy is usually something we think about when describing a ranking in a business, in an organization, politics in church, in a system in which people or things are arranged according to their importance. In design, hierarchy also creates a visual organization to a design, and it gives the reader an idea of where to begin and finish reading. It creates what? A visual organization to a design, and it gives the reader an idea of where to begin and where to stop. So each element that is part of a design can be given a ranking priority. Each element can be given a ranking priority. Now, example, we have headings. You have heading, we have image, we have subtitle, we have website or call to action, then we have body copy. So your headings will always be at the top. You cannot carry heading. Maybe the heading could be the business name or the logo, whatever. You cannot carry heading and go and put below. Can you imagine doing a logo and then you carry the logo and go and put it below, down, the last part of the, so it's like people will need to turn it upside down before they read it. So hierarchy shows that this is the beginning and this is the ending. So we have heading, we have image, we have subheading, we have call to action, and then any other thing you want to add. So it comes in that order: heading first, then followed by image, followed by subtitle or whatever you want to add, then call to action, whether you want to give them a phone number or you are linking them to your social media handle or a website, whatever. You just add that call to action that after they have read, this is what they can do with what they have heard. It could be a program, a church program, you are inviting people, you will now put venue where they can come for the program. That is call to action. So it comes in that hierarchy. You cannot carry call to action and go and put up and carry heading and go and put down. It's not done. So it must have a hierarchy, how it flows, right? Then the fifth principle of design is balance, symmetry, or balance, tension. Balance provides stability and structure to a design, either through symmetry or tension element. So in design, you have balance, where the weight of every element you put in the design gain balance weight. Not that you pack everything and go and put in one corner and then another corner is empty. No. You create a balance. This one should be here, there should be space here, this one should be, everything should have a balance. So balance is the fifth principle of design. Now, having discussed the first topic under this introduction, which is what is design, the second principle of design. Now let's look at the third, which are the tools that we need for design. Now, for this particular class, I'm going to be limiting the example or the practical to a few apps, but I will give you the opportunity of knowing more apps more than this, so that on your own, if you like, you can go and explore it. So at the end of this, I'm also going to give you an assignment. So some of the material or apps that we need is number 1, we need remove background. You will need erase background. Remove background 1, erase background 2, Then number 3, you will need photo room. Those are the 3 apps. These 3 apps are used to do what? To work on the image, the things, external things you want to import into the design environment, so that they can be ready and suitable for use. I'm going to be showing us all in the practical section. So then the design site that we can use will also be, I will also mention 3, but I will show you practical with 1. So we have Canva. Canva is a design site. We have a Pixel Lab. Pixel Lab is I won't dive into Pixel Lab in this class. If you're interested in knowing how to use Pixel Lab to design, it's a different thing. We can make that arrangement differently. Then we have Figma. Figma is another design site or design app that we can use to design things. So this is where I will stop. So what you do is to go to Play Store and download these 2 things, Remove Background and Canva. Remove Background and Canva. Here are they. Go and download them inside your phone. I'm going to show you how to use it in phone and how to use it in laptop. So till you see the next recording, for now, practice this, rewatch this video and make sure you understand it, so that when you see the practical, it will be easier for you to flow. Till I see you again in the next class, thank you. God bless you. Bye.